Hey guys, here I am for another Dark Ascension draft. Just lost in the first round of the last one. I'm going to be pretty annoyed if the guy who beat me doesn't go on to win that draft though, because his deck seemed pretty great. Um, but yeah, here I am because I'm a degenerate and I like to draft this format as much as I can. So let's have a look at this first pack. We have another mythic to start off with. Um, Obviously, this card's quite strong. 5 breed dragon, 6 for a 5/5 flyer. I think it'd be strange not to take it here. Sunworld Dryad's quite good. Um, Chosen of Markov, also a real card, but you need vampires to support it. 3 cost 4/4s are quite good though. I think we're just going to take the mythic. It's kind of silly not to. Otherwise, I think I'd just be taking some 2-drop value guy. Apologies again for the construction work that's going on nearby. Okay, so what do we got here? Um, our uncommons aren't great. Heckling Fiends is pretty strong, but not the best card ever printed. So we're already in red, but I don't really like chasing a mythic down. Like, I don't think it's obviously a strong card, but it is a 6-drop. So if we see a lot of another color coming through, we'll probably end up playing that instead. Uh, but yeah, I think we want to take a defensive card. So I think all these red cards, whilst they're reasonably strong, don't really fit the bill, and I think this Kessig Recluse gets the pick. The card's really good in this format. Rich Death Touch, supports you having some bigger guys and taking a long time to win the game. So I'm gonna just snap off this pick here. Um, Evolving Wild seems like almost the best card here, but I mean obviously that's not true. Digraph Captain is strong, but it's in 2 colors we don't have a pick in yet. Forge Devils is very conditional. Loyal Cathar is quite strong. Um, it might actually just be the Loyal Cathar. We're not actually in any colors yet, and it is the most. Well, I mean, it's white though, so there is an issue with taking a pick like that. Uh, these power tools have no respect for recording magic. Um, Death Caress could be a good pick as well. I think I might just pick the removal here. Zombie Apocalypse. It's very hard not to pick this card when you see it. It's not very good, of course, but target creature fights another target creature for 6. Prey upon was once an expensive card, apparently. None of these cards are particularly good, so I think I'm just going to take the Zombie Apocalypse because it's super sweet. Um, yeah, and I'm a degenerate, so let's just do that. Things that go well with it. I mean, Torture is okay. Thought Scale goes well with it, obviously, with Zombie Apocalypse. Um, Secret of the Dead, pretty sweet card. From the cards coming through, it seems that Red's actually being drafted somewhat. There's like playables in each color. It just need to commit to something in order to get it to work. I think I'm just gonna take the Torturer because I want to play black. This is a really late Scorned Villager. Um, Jeez. So Scorned Villager would be a fine pick here, as would Screeching Scarb. I'm pretty happy to take the ramp spell. Okay, so what have we got here? Clinging Mist is not good. Shriek Us is only okay. Face Shield's quite good, but we're not in white. I'm just going to take the Undying Evil, and I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. Works quite well with Falconwrath Torturer. Sack outlets actually have some value in this format, which is nice. Elbrus. Jeez. I'm not sure that we're going to try and get there with that in this format. I think that the pick is between the two green cards. I'm pretty happy to play the Young Wolf here with a sack outlet. None of these cards are really good. Um, I think I'm just going to take the Faithful Suiting because it's the most generically strong card. It also might be worth like 0.1 or 0.2 tickets or something like that, but yeah, nothing very exciting going on there. This first pack seemed quite weak so far. I'm going to take this Deadly Allure. Combines quite well with Young Wolf and Scorn Villager. Um, Obviously, like when Scorn Villager is in the late game, it hasn't got much value, so you can just trade it in with something like this on it. Um, but yeah, so we've got quite a few Morbid enablers already. So picking up some Morbid cards in the next pack would be pretty cool. Sure. Doesn't really matter. Get some mulches and some spider spawnings or something like that. I'd be pretty cool with. Um, sure, Sanctuary Cat. Like, I mean, there's raw blanks at this point. These packs have been quite shallow, so I'm just gonna hide all the terrible, terrible cards we've been forced to draft. I'd rather get there with the zombie apocalypse than the Moonveil Dragon. Like, it's not that hard to get Moonveil Dragon to work. It's just a dragon. But if we get there with the zombie apocalypse, it's going to be really, really sweet. So you're listening to Sam Lloyd with the sweet sounds of construction. Okay, so Kai kind of likes us to have some guys in the bin, which is good. Grimoire of the Dead is kind of cool. Allows us to bring everything back, and Bishop Viper allows us to trade off. Yeah, so this is actually like a really strong pack for us. We want quite a few choices from it. Dark Thicket Wolf is generically the best card in the pack, I would say. Depends if we're aiming to trade off with people or we're planning to go big with our graveyard. I mean, if we're playing this color combination, we're going to try and get there, so I'm going to take the Boneyard Worm. We have synergy with both having creatures of our own and having creatures die, so I'm going to take this Typhoid Rats over this Victim of Night. I know that might seem strange, but I think it's the right pick here. Fiend Hunter, obviously a strong card, but we are not playing it. And a Geist Knotted Bunk again, insane, so there's going to be a couple of very happy white drafters at the table. Sure. So Avatar Ghoul is kind of cool, as is Somberwald Spider. We'll have other chances to pick this card up though, and Deadweight is just really, really insane, so we're just going to take that. Okay, we're faced with a similar choice again, the only difference being that we have a Diagraph Ghoul in the pack. I'm not entirely sure how strong a 1 cost 2/2 is in this format. I mean, it's obviously very good. I'm going to take the Diagraph Ghoul for the sake of, giving it a go and playing something a little bit different. Also, it comes back with Zombie Apocalypse, so, value, right? Okay, so Mona the Unhallowed, quite clearly the strongest card in this pack. Uh, yeah, 4 power for 4 is not amazing, but over 2 bodies is pretty good, and then having flashback on top of that is just insane, so we're going to pick that up, be very happy to see it. It also, if we do find some mulches or stuff like that, it's going to improve them somewhat because we're going to have something that we can mill ourselves into. The Zombie Apocalypse is not currently making the deck at the moment, but there's always the chance that we pull off, an insane pack 3 for it. But yeah, at this point we just want to pick up some of the boars at 4, which are 4 cost 3/3 trample that gets +2/+2 if you manage to trigger Morbid. That card's quite good for us. Don't have many humans, but that card's just normally quite good anyway. Curse of Oblivion is a fine sideboard card. Mana Skeleton is not something I'm ever excited to play, but it is a playable card. I'm actually just going to take the Silver Inlaid Dagger here. I think that is the choice. Make some of our currently terrible creatures into, bigger threats. I'm actually just going to hide this Zombie Apocalypse, I think. Okay, so we see a Disciple of Grizzlebrand, which is another sack outlet, which are reasonably important in this deck. But at the moment we don't have any morbid creatures, so we need to really pick some so that we have a reason to be playing the strategy at all. If we see that pick again, we'll take the other choice, but at the moment that's fine with us. Grave Bramble is a card that I quite like in this format. Ghoul Caller's Chant, really good in some circumstances. We don't have the density of creatures to get there yet. Okay, so now we have a Disciple versus an Ambush Viper. Again, we want to take the sack outlet, but the Ambush Viper is just too generically good. They're both good at getting creatures in our graveyard. They're both good at having things die. So yeah, we're just going to take the Ambush Viper here. Unfortunate to miss both of those sack outlets, but there's not much we can do about it at the moment. The cards that we had to choose over them were just too necessary for us having some good cards to play in our deck. Like, there is synergy in the Disciple, but it's just really not going to reward us unless we get the other cards first. Okay, so we can have Kindercatcher or Gnaw to the Bone. They're both pretty sweet. 6 cost 6/6 is really good. As is gaining a bunch of life though, so we don't really have any mulches yet, so this isn't going to be that online. I'm just going to take the Kindercatch, play a more generic green strategy for now. I'll take the Shimmering Grotto. It's better than the Bramble Crush. So I'm going to be very unhappy with if we end up seeing a Planeswalker that we can kill with that Bramble Crush, but Normally you can find the one or two that you'd like to sideboard at some point anyway. Alright, excellent. We pick up another spider. This was a card that changed in value tremendously between Innistrad, 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 and then Dark Ascension, Dark Ascension Innistrad, Innistrad. Um, just with the extra morbid enablers that you had access to, so which we do have a few of. Currently only on 12 creatures, although they are decent ones. I'm pretty happy to have all the ones that we have. Grave Bramble is the most conditional one, but 3/4 for 3 is actually quite good. So, good call as well. We can do some self milling with that guy. At the moment, the only thing that we really get out of it is Mono the Unhallowed plus a bigger Boneyard Worm, but that's probably enough to think about playing it. We also get to flashback Deadly Allure. Curse of Oblivion's a fine sideboard card. So yeah, we've got 3 Death Touch creatures. The ability to give some things Death Touch with Deadly Allure, which is in particular good with Young Wolf, obviously. So we'll be able to have things die, I think, quite reliably. Just need to pick up some other things to make it worth it. Okay, what do we have here? So we have a Morbid Guy, a Walking Corpse, and a Screeching Bat, and a Kessig Wolfrun. I don't know if anyone remembers how good Kessig Wolfrun is in this format, but it is absolutely insane. I'm going to pick it here. We have a Shimmering Grotto to use with it at the moment. We'll play a basic mountain in this deck. It's like worth playing as, like, if you would play 17 lands in a deck, it's worth you playing an 18th just so that 18th is the Kessig Wolfrun and you splash it. So I'm gonna smash pick that here. Obviously, it gets a lot better when you see Mulch as well, which is a card that we already wanted to pick up. So Screeching Bat was the pick otherwise. Mana intensive, but quite effective card. Okay, so here it's a pretty easy pick. Gatsash Shepherd is one of the best 2-drops that I've ever played in Limited, and it's particularly good in this format. So I'm just gonna snap that up and be really happy about it. So our creature density is getting there. We've got a little removal in that 1 dead weight and that Death Caress. The Deadly Allure is occasionally good, but it's mainly good when you have a lot of terrible 1 and 2 drops that lose value as the game goes along. But we do have that, so yeah. The way that you win with this deck is by going over the top of your opponent. So whilst it's not entirely important to have that much removal, having stuff that shuts down their biggest guy does increase your win percentage quite a lot. Jesus, Grimgrin, hey. This thing's really good. We're already splashing for Kessig Wolfrun, which is what holds me back from picking it. That being said, this pack isn't very deep either. We'd probably take this Altar's Reap, but I'm just a sucker for mythics. I'm gonna take it. We'll see if we can fit it into the deck at any point. I don't think we miss much by taking it over another pick in that pack anyway. Okay, so we have a Grizzled Outcast. It's a quite strong card. We have a Traveler's Amulet, which would allow us to splash Keswick Wolf Run and Grim Green a little bit better. Although I don't think this is quite the time to be picking that yet. And we do have an Awkward Spirit. So I'm going to take the Awkward Spirit. Grizzled Outcast isn't quite necessary as it would be otherwise because we do have quite a lot of top end already. And we're missing a lot of threes, so we're going to take the Awkward Spirit and see if we can curve out more often. Okay, this is an interesting choice. So we have a Festerhide Boar, and we also have a Mulch. Mulch is going to hit Keswick Wolf Run more, and it's also going to hit the cards that allow us to activate the ability on it, so the Shimmering Grotto and the Singleton Mountain that I mentioned that we'll end up running. I'm actually going to take it. I think it's going to be good for us. I think Festerhide Boar is a card that we don't like passing up, but I think we need the Mulch more. And oh my god, it's a spider spawning. Snap. And another Mulch. Okay, so we've got a spider spawning in the deck, so these Mulches are really easy picks now. Grey Bramble's really good in that deck. Do we want Ghoul Caller's Chant? I don't think that we want it more than we want our opponent not to have Smite the Monstrous. I'm not normally a fan of drafting like that, but I don't think this is even remotely playable for us, given that we only have, like, that's not even a zombie, so one zombie, I guess two zombies with the Grim Green if we end up playing it, but we probably won't now. So, yeah, it's not really a card that we'll ever play, so we'll just take the Smite. Bramble Crush, fun sideboard card. Doesn't really do anything though. Trepanation Blade. Maybe we'll play that. Maybe we won't. So this deck went from being extremely unexciting with a lot of splashing to extraordinarily exciting in the matter of seconds. So, yeah, I'm a happy man. I get to cast Spider Spawning, so how could I not be? So this is a basically an insurmountable endgame. Like no one's going to be able to beat us once we cast that card. Not without a Wolf Run, and we've got the Wolf Run. Um, so basically, what we're looking to do is we're looking to fill our graveyard one way or another, and that means trading off with our opponent a lot. And we've made a lot of those choices already in this game, so we're going to be doing stuff like casting Typhoid Rats and Ambush Viper and taking any trade we can. We want the game to go for a long time, so we're happy to play a creature like this that can't attack. Make a Wish is pretty sweet in this deck as well. So yeah, we've got a lot of value to mill into, and we're going to be casting Mulches and our Ghoul Caller's Bell in order to fill it up in, and basically just get there. I think we do still play this Wolf Run, given that we do have double Mulch. Every now and again it'll be a little awkward because we'll mill over it with the Ghoul Caller's Bell, but I think that's absolutely fine. So, Ghoul Caller's Bell, Trepanation Blade probably not necessary, although Wolf Run and Shimmering Grotto are necessary cards. Yeah, we're not going to play this Grim Grin. I think it was worth the pick because we didn't really give up much to take it. But yeah, unfortunately, Zombie Apocalypse, which is my recollection of it, doesn't really get there here. Just not enough zombies in the set, really, to make it worth it. Cool card though. Brainweevil, it's worth thinking about. I'll probably end up cutting it from the main, but same with Make a Wish. Decent sideboard cards in the end. Curse of Oblivion's kind of cool. As another sideboard card, if someone's trying to do the same thing as us. Favor of the Woods is completely unplayable. These 3 drops are fine. Mulch is good. Spiteful Shadow is not. Having a large creature density is something that you very much want in this deck. Also, 1-drops are sweet. So, Undying Evil. Not really sure if I want that card in this deck. much rather trade off with people, so I'm going to just drop this Brainweevil straight away. So this is, what, one more card and then we're done. So yeah, I think I'm just going to cut this Undying Evil. This is a very good card if you have a traditional strategy, but because once we flip it, it does absolutely nothing. The reward needs to be really high when it's in play, and because we don't really care about our guys dying in the first place, it's not that good. I mean, it does have a certain amount of synergy with our Torturer, but yeah, I'm not overly concerned about that. Um, so this does seem like the deck. 17 lands, is that enough? Um, could be possible that we want to play an 18th. It's pretty greedy though. Like, well, we want to hit most of our land drops first off, um, but we also need a certain creature density, and we only have 15 right now, so we can't really drop another creature for it. Decisions. So none of these cards can be dropped, right? So these can't be dropped. Descaress is not something that we really want to drop, but it could be the choice. Deadweight's actually excellent in this deck. Um, Destroy target creature is such a powerful effect, though. I can't see myself not running that. So if we want an 18th land, I guess we have to drop one of these two, which I'm not really that happy with. So I guess the choice is that we just run 17 and hope to get there. Whoop. Press the wrong button there. Damn it, our opponent from the last one did not end up winning. That's a bit annoying. So let's make a suggestion. Okay, so it wants a lot of forests. I can't say that they're wrong suggesting it that way, but so I got one colorless land, one that needs two to go in. We got a couple of black one drops, so I'd really rather play something like that. Which puts us to 41 cards. Almost willing to submit it like this, even though 40 cards is, in many ways, clearly better. Read as all of the ways clearly better. But we are milling ourselves. And it does put the ratios to a good point. Bit annoyed I didn't pick up that Traveler's Amulet now. That might have been incredibly greedy of me. The way that this is working at the moment is the Kessig Wolf Run is only ever online when we have the Shivering Grotto. I don't know if that's correct or not. I don't know if it's worth playing in that way. The card is very, very strong in this format, though. We do have two mulches to find one or the other piece. And the Shivering Grotto is probably something I would be playing here regardless, just to fix our colours late. We've got a few triple and double costs, but they're all late game. Oh, I suppose we have a lot of green, if you consider the Grape Rambles. Yeah, I'm just going to submit with 41 cards. Feel free to yell at me in the comments. I know that a few people in particular will be having a go at me about this. I'm looking at you, Patrick Robertson. But I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to submit this as is.